All right, welcome everyone to Technical Tuesday, June 30th, 7 p.m. now. Now we're doing it a lot earlier just to be able to help you guys out. Most of you guys are asleep during the London session. That's usually the time that I trade. This week I'm actually doing New York trading in between that gap between the London and the New York. So that's about a 2-hour gap that happens, which is one of the best times to be able to trade, or the beginning of the London session is the best time. But now we're going to be doing it sooner. This way everyone can come in, everyone can be awake and concentrate here. Don't want people sleeping in on me. But yeah, so as far as the news that we have for today, now this Friday is NFP. Every first, is it this Friday? Hold on. Yeah, it should be this Friday. Okay, I had this changed here. Okay, so yeah, this Friday is going to be NFP. The first Friday of every single month is NFP. There's actually US holiday this Friday. One sec. Oh, Independence Day observed. And then the 4th is Independence Day. Okay. Let me actually, before I give some false information, let me just check something real quick. Okay, so there's CAD unemployment rate on next Friday. Yeah, okay, so I believe this is going to be, it's like, oh, yeah. So it was scheduled for Thursday, and someone else also mentioned inside of the chat that, yeah, thanks for pointing that out. I actually didn't realize that until now, but yeah, so it's going to be this Thursday, July 2nd. So usually it is the first Friday of every single month, but because of Independence Day happening on the 4th for the US, they have postponed it to this Thursday. All right, so let's look at what we have for Wednesday, since that's going to be the next day. We do have some high impact on USD happening. This is at the beginning of the New York session. Some high impact a little bit earlier at GBP, which is actually going to be that gap in between that New York and London session. So going to be awake during this time, looking there. So I'm not going to be up during the London session. There might be some signals that are called out, but overall going to be looking towards the New York session. All right, so overall just going to be looking at USD, GBP today, and just any other pairs that I possibly noticed something. Yeah, thanks Rich for answering that. So NFP does stand for non-farm payroll. And usually that's when super high impact happens in the market. I actually suggest not trading during this time unless you're unless you have some experience with trading during non-farm payroll. There's a lot of volatility that happens. Sometimes it's super crazy wicks that happens where price shoots up and then shoots back down. It's just crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the charts here. First look here on MT4. See if I notice anything. Let me change this back to hour. All right, so with GBP USD, last week I had called that it was a sell, which it did drop. It actually dropped all the way down to negative 27% on GBP USD. So that one was a really good trade there. But currently right now, so it had, we're gonna check out GBP USD just so you guys can see what I noticed there, but into that. USD JPY is showing a 3 on this area here. Gonna be checking out USD JPY as well. And check out GBP AUD. Let's see. And if there's any pairs that you guys want me to check out, just put it in the chat box area and I'll consider it. Okay, so yeah, gonna look at Euro JPY as well. So Euro JPY, GBP AUD, USD JPY, GBP USD, and check out Euro USD as well. Yeah, we'll check out a couple of them. By the way, I'll post again inside of the chat room area because I'm pretty sure that link got lost. If you guys did want to join some mentorship, you can just click that and join in. Okay, so gonna start off with we do GBP USD. All right, now with GBP USD, just looking at the daily time frame, overall there's this major area of support down here, so mark it off. And one more area here. All right, going down to the daily in this area here. Now this was what I saw last week. I actually posted it. If you guys saw in my Instagram story, this was like 2 days ago where I posted that I had called this GBP USD. It was actually really clean trade right here, where price was between 50, 61.8, and then it had reversed, going all the way down to this negative 27% area down here, and then had a reaction coming up. So as of now, have this resistance line here. It already taken profits. Let me erase this. This was actually kind of a prediction where we might notice a reversal happening, being that this area right now where the current price is at is actually at a strong support line. So if you can see, it played resistance on this side. It played support on this side. You can see multiple touches right here where it hits and then reacts off this line. So currently right now, price is at this area and then it reacted off of it. So, so just looking zoomed in, this is usually what happens in this area. And then being that it's Wednesday, it's going on to Wednesday, usually you see midweek reversals that happen. So it goes from a downtrend into an uptrend. So I have a feeling with this, it's going to give us kind of like a head and shoulder pattern where we see like a price comes up to about this area here and then coming back down. Now, if it comes back down and we notice like a reaction somewhere around here, which is where this left shoulder would be at, if we notice a reaction somewhere around here, we will most likely be we'll be waiting for it to shoot back up, and this resistance line will be kind of like that neckline right there. So between this point here and then this point right there that I marked off. So let me trace out the head and shoulder pattern just as how I expect for it to most likely be like. So we have left shoulder, head, and then we might be seeing from here like a right shoulder to then continue going up. Now, some people might not be able to see this, but yeah, it's just usually what happens during midweek and what I'm going to be looking out for. So doesn't mean get in yet. We're just going to be looking for most likely something like this to happen to get in. Yeah, so part of the reason why I think that as well is if you can see, now I mentioned this on last week's live analysis where there's divergence. So you can see we have lower lows forming right here when right here on the RSI we see like that slant coming up like that. So on the RSI it should be showing us it should be showing a slants going down if it's confirming with what's going on up top. You know, kind of like this area here and this area here, it's confirming exactly what's going on down here. Looks exactly the same. So it should be exactly the same. This is what's called the divergence when price is faking you out. So that's why I have a feeling in this area, that's when it's going to start rejecting. And I've seen this multiple times where this comes down, probably comes down to about here, and then continues going up, which should be that right shoulder and then going up. So yeah. Let me see someone's question here. On the mentorship, I was able to catch that GBP USD move by myself because I missed the last week analysis, but kept an eye on that. Awesome, man. He said still on phase 5. Thank you, Ricky. Very much worth it. Cool. Keep up the good work, Melbourne. Yeah, you were actually not the only one that called that from the mentorship area. There was someone else as well. I actually spoke to them today. I think his name was Brian, another mentorship student who is seeing results. Yeah, it was Brian. You can actually see right here. If Brian's in here, I'd be proud. But yeah, he had called this out as well. I actually had a talk with him today where there was something that was wrong, but his entry was on point. That's what I like to consider. And yeah, did very well there. Okay, someone said about the EMA crossing. So if you're talking about, what you're talking about? Talking about well, it depends on the time frame that you're talking about. So if it's on the 1 hour, you know, it had crossed towards the upside, but you know, just based off of what I see with the flow of the market currently right now, you know, it was forming lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower high, and then we had a low right here, did that double bottom formation right there. You know, double bottom formation, the distance already hit its take profit after the break of neckline. So usually when you see that reversal pattern, then it starts going into the uptrend. So right now it's forming its higher high. Most likely it's going to form its higher low and then continue going up. So that's why I have a feeling it's going to kind of do that head and shoulder pattern. It's going to look out for that. Let's go on to some other stuff. Don't want to take too much time off of GBP USD. Let's do USD JPY. So I'm going to show you guys in the bigger time frame. The monthly, we have strong support right here. Crazy movements going on USD JPY. Now, if you see what's happening with USD JPY, just based off of like the bigger time frame, what we see happening here is what's called a flagpole pattern. So this is normal. This is what happens. This is what happens with the price when there's a strong push coming up and then some consolidation that happens. So there's that consolidation. And then it's just waiting for a breakout, which usually for flagpoles, it continues to go up. So just off of price action and what I see going on here, it's looking to go up. And let me show you guys on Google what that looks like. For Forex, you could do for trading to see this, but flagpole patterns, what they look like is exactly like this. That's the flagpole, super strong, then some consolidation, and then continuation. That's what we're most likely going to be seeing with USD JPY, but this is a monthly time frame. So give me 1 sec, let me hide notifications here. Okay, now in this area right now, it's kind of consolidating. We have like a strong area of support down here, just going more in. So this entire area is like a area of support. There was a reaction that happened here. Then it's going into that uptrend. Now, if you can see, there's it's kind of like a inverted head and shoulder pattern right in this area. It's a little confusing, being that it's kind of two areas. Is this one? There's this one here. This is the low. It's a high. Now, from what I see with the price currently right now, it's even showing me on MT4 that it's reversing right now. So we do see that reversal happening. We can actually see the divergence as well. This was showing it was going high. Now it's starting the reversal. So with this, we should be expecting for it to drop. I wouldn't get in on the drop, being that this is overall expected to go on the uptrend. So mainly want to go with the trend. With this here, we're going to wait for it to drop some more and then get in on the retest. Now let me check something else. If we see, so it looks like neckline, or that distance was kind of hit, but I feel like it should continue going up. So so what's most likely going to happen is price is going to drop down, retest, and then just continue going into the uptrend with UJ. So let me do the fibs here. High. Yeah, so exactly around that 50, 61.8 area where we should be seeing a reaction hit off of this and then continue going back up. Now, if you did want to get into the sell, this isn't what I would suggest, but just looking at the support line here, yeah, I wouldn't get in on that. Don't get in for that sell. Yeah, when price hits off of this, we should be seeing it spike up, back up to around negative 27% or 61.8. Let me check if 61.8. Yeah, I would have this as a target. So once it comes down here, you don't have to place the buy limit, but I would say once we see a reaction here, especially if we notice like some kind of divergence, some kind of pattern or something, this is where we're going to be buying the market going into the uptrend. All right. Now, if I was to explain Fibonacci, it would kind of take it would be a long lecture. So I have a YouTube video. By the way, if you guys want to follow on YouTube, if you go to youtube.com, look up Market Masters Academy. Look up Market Masters Academy, should be the first one there. Once you go on there,
Forex is all about
oops, make sure to go ahead and subscribe, but they're all posted on here. So there's one of the Technical Tuesdays that says Fibonacci training. Make sure to watch that one. This training is really, really good. I go into like complete depth into Fibonacci. Yeah, but anyways, UJ's dropping. Let's see what's next here. Okay, we'll do GBP AUD. And by the way, I think last week I had mentioned about GBP USD and Euro USD. I went into detail on how GBP USD is looking to go down, so Euro USD is expected to go up. So I'll do that one next right now, Euro USD, just to show you guys. Now, okay, let me look at this a little more. GBP USD went down during, this was on the 23rd, and then Euro USD, 23rd, there we go. So it was right in this area right here for Euro USD. Price was right there, and then it had reversed at the same time that GBP USD had reversed right here. The only thing is it looks a little different, but overall, yeah, there's a spike that happened and then consolidation coming down. Same thing with Euro USD. Spike that happened and then consolidation coming down. So when GBP USD does break out and continue going up, most likely we'll be noticing the same thing with Euro USD. So that's why I do have my my entry above this area, and should be noticing that reaction happen. Most likely tomorrow during the New York session, we'll be noticing that. So quote me next time we do the live analysis. This almost happens every single time. I'll come into this live analysis, and you guys had made money, had sent me screenshots of money that you made. I think the most I've seen someone make inside these live analysis was somewhere around like 6,000 off of like a trade that I called out. So it's pretty cool. Now don't over leverage, don't go crazy just because I'm mentioning this. The chances of it hitting its take profit are high just because of how long I've been trading, but doesn't mean it's 100% guaranteed. So don't place a trade. I'm not saying place a trade. I'm not liable if you lose some money. It's just part of the game. See some questions. AUD USD, sell or buy. Probably look into that. Do you check currency strength before you go into any trades? The strength, not as much. I'm not really looking at the strength. Usually the strength does happen when there's volatility in the market. So yeah, and then also the strength also increases. I said also twice. It increases when there's like news impact, or in the beginning of London or beginning of New York. Like there's those different session and volatilities that happen. So it really varies. Okay, so GBP AUD, let's check that out. GBP. All right, so looks to have broke this this support area here. One area. Okay, so GBP AUD looks like it's going to drop down to this area and then possibly do a reversal, which I've seen this multiple times, where it breaks its trend line. Breaks its trend line, gives us like some kind of reversal that happens, comes up, hits this as resistance, and then just continues to drop down. Yeah, but it's not giving you like any real confirmation. I would say, if anything, like you can sell this and then target all the way down here, but it's not like a proper strategy for like maybe putting like stop loss somewhere above here and then your take profit here. So around like 1-to-1 ratio on this one, but it's already going into the downtrend. So just I would wait on this like retest that happens in this was one support is now resistance. Usually that happens every single time, and it's most likely going to hit like one of these resistance areas over here. Yep. Okay. So that's a good question when it comes to, I can answer that one right now. So for early entries inside of triple tops or triple bottoms, if you don't know what triple tops or triple bottoms are, make sure to take some type of training. But yeah, when price is going into the uptrend, you notice like a triple top that happens, which basically means it's not breaking this resistance area. Now for early entry, so early entry would be if price comes up and getting in this area. So the only time I would get in this area is if there's strong resistance on here. So that's one confirmation, it's at strong resistance. Second confirmation is if I notice on the RSI that price is giving me like some type of divergence in this area. So it's showing it's going down while this is going sideways like that. So the early entry would be right here. This is that early entry. Early entry, the proper entry would be at the break of neckline, which is right below this area here. So you call that the mid entry. And then the late entry is going to happen at the retest. So usually for a retest, it doesn't exactly hit its take profit. Like, you know, the distance from the top to neckline is about the distance that it should drop. So we're targeting somewhere around this area for take profit. So we normally see that retest happen, and then this is what's called a late entry, but it's still a good entry. It's not a bad one. Some people consider late as like a bad thing. But yeah, for retest, so I actually like the retest because I know it's already going into the downtrend. It's showing me formations. We have lower lows happening, so we have the lower low, and then we have lower highs. So then I would do like my fibs from high to low, and then I would, you know, mark off my 50, 61.8 area, and then see if it hits, reacts, and then from there I just catch this going down to negative 27% or negative 61.8. But yeah, that's pretty much how I'd get in for the early entry, and I would wait for more confirmations because I just mentioned RSI and then, you know, strong resistance, but I'm trying to think of another one. Probably like news impact that happens, and I notice like a reaction happen here, or a candlestick where it shows me like a shooting star pattern right at this area, which usually you do see shooting star patterns happen here. And the reason that happens is because there's people that get in on entries right above this resistance. So the price comes up, hits people's like buy stops right above this resistance, and then it also hits people's stop loss because some people get in right at resistance for a sell. So if I notice there's a strong reaction coming up, and then it shoots back down, giving me like that shooting star pattern, then I'm looking to sell this coming down. All right. Stop losses that varies based off of the strategy. So I'm not going to get too much into that. You know, going to be doing the live analysis stuff. Let's see. Someone mentioned to check out Gbp Aud. Yeah. Let's do AUD USD. And by the way, I'm probably going to do like one more and then going to be getting off here. If you have any questions at all, just let me know. All right. So let's see. So price is currently right now at like this resistance area up here. Overall going into the uptrend, steep uptrend. All right, now this is AUD USD. So AUD USD is kind of doing the same thing as like GBP USD and Euro USD. We kind of see like the strong strong uptrend that happened, and then getting into like consolidation right here. And just off of what I see, let me see daily. All right, now the Euro USD, might be noticing this have a reaction off of this, hitting this area of support, and then considering getting in for the buy once it reacts off of there, and then aiming for a higher target. So we already see the higher highs being formed. You know, on the bigger time frame, we see lower lows, but it's overall consolidating in this area. Kind of the same thing as how I mentioned over here with the flagpole pattern. We see with like AUD USD. Shoot, it's a big spike that happens, consolidation, and then right now, looking to break out. So kind of like GBP USD, how it's most likely going to drop a bit, hit around this area, and then shoot up. Same thing with Euro USD. Might drop a bit or shoot up over here. It doesn't always look exactly like GBP USD, but it's very similar. And just continue shooting up. Here, if we see that reversal that happens, get my fibs and then mark off these areas for reversal to see where it will continue going up. Okay. If you're in on a sell, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, I do see it's already doing higher highs. It's at the resistance area, so depending on the reaction that happens here, it might drop down. Yeah. So this one is most likely gonna drop down to around somewhere down here, and then I feel we're gonna continue shooting up after that. Now, sometimes it does continue dropping, hits here, comes back up, and then it just continues this this flag of consolidation. But yeah, just looking at the different stuff that the different like the news that are going to hit at the New York session, we most likely will be seeing a high impact happen. So probably a reversal during the London right here, and then continuing to shoot up during the New York. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do like a Q&A session. Any questions that you guys have, I'll give it about 9 minutes. So at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'll be getting off here. But any questions that you guys have, just let me know. Teach us divergence. If a lot of people ask for divergence, we'll go ahead and cover that real quick. I don't use MACD. I used to back then. This was like way back in when I had first started off. Okay, so 2 people asked for divergence to explain it. JR explained or asked if I can explain divergence. Okay, so let's explain divergence. Now, to answer your question about the time frame that I use, so I mainly use the 1 hour for the divergence, but sometimes I use the bigger time frames if I'm looking for like what's going to happen overall. So the mentorship, so the mentorship's $4.97. I think I have it saved on here. Yeah, I still have the link saved. I just pasted it in here. Yeah, so when it comes to divergence, here's a main thing that you're going to be looking for is well, let's see. So first off, explaining the RSI. So to add this onto your charts, you want to go to indicators, look up RSI, stands for Relative Strength Index. So you would click this, it will add it onto your chart. The settings that I use, and by the way, if I'm going kind of quick, make sure to watch the recording. Um, but yeah, so you would right click, go to settings, and no, one sec. So on the RSI settings, you want to make sure that the length is 5. So normally when it goes on, it's going to be 14. So change that to 5. Source is close. The length on this, I mean the style. So you want to, well, I normally make these black right here. This is just preference right here. So you don't necessarily have to change it, but it just makes it stand out. There's the 70 line and then the 30 line. So these lines right here are indicating the strength of the price. That's really what you're using the relative strength index for. And I'll actually hide this. I'll delete this one. So anything above the 70. So if you can see on the right hand side, the price goes from you can see 0, from 0 all the way to 100 right here at this very top. Okay, and then we have the 70 line right there, and then we have the 30 line. These are standard, and the reason why they're here is because anytime these lines are above the 70, when it's above the 70, price is overbought. Usually when the price is overbought, it's expected to reverse, okay? And then when price is below the 30, price is oversold. So when price is oversold, it's usually expected to go up, okay? Now, the things that I'm looking for when price is above the 70 is for slants going down. So I look at these peaks right here. So you can see these very peaks right here. It's above the 70. When price is above the 70, or when the relative strength index lines are above the 70, I'm looking for these slants going down. So make sure to write this down if you're just learning this for the first time. If it's above 70, look for slants going down. And these slants have to be above the 70 line. So you can see both of these points are right above the 70. So like another point, so you can see these points right here, they're not slanted down, but you can see this point and this point is slanted down. So you could draw your lines like that. And basically what divergence is you're looking to see if what the price up top is showing you exactly what's happening with the RSI. So that's what divergence is. You're spotting what I like to call fake outs. So if you notice that the candlesticks are showing you like uptrend formations, while the RSI is showing you that it's going down. When it's going down like that, this is showing you that price is getting weaker. Price is getting weaker here. So therefore, that's a divergence. When up top is showing you something different, like it's going up, RSI showing you that it's expected to, or that price is getting weaker. So it's a fake out that's happening. This isn't actually what's going to happen. And usually when you notice this, that's when a downfall happens. So let's actually look at the charts up top. So bring up the charts here. Where are we? Oh, it was down below. Okay, so just looking at the charts here, if you can see, all right, so I'm gonna line it right above. So from this point, it's this point here. And then this point here, it's this point here. So in a way, it's kind of showing you the truth. On the charts, it's a little bit more slanted, but after this divergence, once it's above the 70, we do notice it drops. It drops a bit after that. Now, with this part, we do notice big time divergence here. So you can see if I align my crosshairs here, so from this point going all the way up, it's this very point right here. And then this point here, if I go all the way up, it's this point here. So at this very top, we see the slants going up like this. And on the RSI showing us it's getting weaker. Price is getting weaker. Move this over. The price is getting weaker right here. And after we notice that, there's like a downfall in the price that happens. So anywhere that I notice slants, I'm just looking at the chart and seeing if it's matching up. If it doesn't match up, then it's expected to drop. So kind of like right here where I pointed out that it's a slant going while this is going up. That's why there was this big downfall, because it's not the real price. So sometimes when you notice inside of my signals that like there's it's at a very high peak, like maybe this point right here, and I'll say sell, it's because there's like divergence, and I know that it's expected to drop. Okay, so so let me point out like maybe two more slants on the RSI. So I'll point out this one here. From this point to this point, it's slanting down, and I'll point this point to this point. Now let's go up here and see what we see. All right, so this point here is this very peak here, and then this point here is right there. You can see the slants going up right there, RSI showing that the price is getting weaker, and then there was a price drop right after that. Now, just because you see divergence doesn't mean to sell right away, okay? You do want to have multiple confirmations. I mentioned indicators as a secondary focus, not primary. Primary should always be price action. So this example here, so it's this point and then this point here. So this one matches up pretty much like the RSI. This is showing it's going down, RSI showing it's going down. So it's just confirming. We're mainly looking for divergence, just so we're not faked out with the price. All right. Now, if I do see, yeah, so to answer your question, Gabriel, for anything below the 30, you're mainly looking to buy, okay? Doesn't mean you buy right away, but when it's below the 30, so I mentioned above the 70, you're looking for slants going down. Below the 30, below 30, looking for slants going up. So the peaks do have to be at the very bottom. So like this point here and this point here, we could see slant going up, okay? Like this point here and this point here, slants going up. Let's see, kind of like this point, this point. So anyways, let's look at this now. Now, when you're looking at the candlesticks, when it's above the 70, you're looking at the top of the price. All right, this might get a little confusing, but just stay in there. So above the 70, you're looking at the top of the price. You notice I pointed out these very top of the candlesticks, but then below the 30s, you're looking at the bottom of the price. So you're looking below the candlesticks. So like this point here, if I align this right above, it's this point here. This point here, it's this point here. Okay, so this is divergence here. Price was showing me that it's going down on the candlesticks. RSI was showing me that price is going up. All right, so that's a divergence, and then we notice a pattern here, and then price did shoot up. So these are the kinds that I'm looking for. If I notice a divergence plus I notice a pattern, and if I wait for like the breakout to happen, my chances of winning are going to be much higher just with two confirmations. Now I'm looking for 3 or more. So like the third one could have been that 21 and 8 crossover that happened right here. And then probably another one like above this support line over here. But yeah, so let's look at another area, kind of here. So this point here, and then this point here. So in a way, this was kind of showing it's going down a bit, and then price shot up. Let's see. Another one that shows it. Now, what I like seeing is like reversal patterns, like major market reversal patterns to be able to figure this out. So like, for example, this point here and then this point here. Like I already noticed the reversal pattern here, which is a inverted head and shoulders. You can see the left head, right shoulder happens there. We have neckline that's going down like this. So I already know that this is expected to reverse, and then I'm just looking at divergence. So we can see here, prices slanted up. You can see how it's going up. And if I align it right above, it's this point to this point. It's the left shoulder to the right shoulder. And here it's showing it's going down, RSI is showing me it's going up. So already here, before it even formed the right shoulder, it's already giving me that indication to buy. So make sure to pay close attention on this part, because this is how I make money off of this strategy and RSI. Like RSI is one of my favorite ones to look at. Okay, someone actually asked me in one of the questions, like, what are one of my top 3 indications for getting in? RSI is pretty much one of them, because you're not fooled if the price is expected to continue going down. Like most people think that the price is going to continue dropping, right? We notice, like in this area here, we see like lower lows, lower highs, like it's just going into a downtrend. Right here, there's probably people that sell here, because we have, you know, resistance here, and then resistance right here. People are getting in on sells right in this area, thinking that it's going to drop. They're going to continue making money, probably all the way down to all the way down here, probably even lower. Who knows? I think they're going to get lucky off of this one, just because it's at a resistance. But because I know that this is a fake out, this is showing me that it's expected to reverse, then I'm looking for reversal patterns even before it happens, because I notice a divergence. So like, let me show you what this would look like. So right here. So if I notice the price is doing this, all right, people are going to be like, okay, this is going on a downtrend. I'm not going to buy this because it's going in a downtrend. But then if we play, so let me play here, so we can see the market reaction here. So, you know, right there, that's when people are selling. You know, they notice a strong candlestick just shooting down, like this is the time to sell. And then, but before all this happened, I would have noticed the RSI. And what I do, and this is like a pretty big secret. I mentioned this to many people, but at least in my training. But what I would do is I'll get my fibs, get my fib tool, and then I'll do from high to from low to high, getting my fibs to be able to mark off that 5061.8 area, which is right here. And after price shoots through, so it doesn't exactly have to hit this area, but when price comes through, I'm looking to buy this. Whenever it comes back up, I'm looking to buy it, put stop loss somewhere below 61.8, take profit like at least is 0.0, and you know, just based off of like this this like head and shoulder pattern that I can already see forming, it should overall hit the distance from neckline to down here is a distance that it should go up. So once it breaks through, the target all the way right here for take profit. So let me play this. So right in this area, you can see price reacted, shot up. Let's see if it passes below 61.8. Okay, so it did drop below 61.8, but you can see that that reaction that comes all the way up into this area here. Now, I would be looking at this area. This is probably like a news impact that happens. Usually you do see that where there's a news impact and then it spikes up. But if the take profit was all the way up there, and normally I don't do my fibs on the 1 hour, by the way, it's usually on the 4 hour, but I would have probably had to like zoom in closer if I wanted to like really get this one in. Let's see. And normally I don't do this, but yeah, it did drop down. It would have hit stop loss if I did put it right there. But yeah, if the target is overall like in this high up here, then my stop loss would never be this tight on the chart. So if it's like, yeah, this is about 564 up there, somewhere around like 250. I usually keep it around like 1 to 2, and then it would have gave the market move to breathe or room to breathe. So yeah, that's pretty much how you would use RSI if you notice any type of divergence happening with a pattern going on. So here's like another area right here. So we notice prices going into the uptrend, kind of consolidating into this area. Now, this is when I would zoom out on the RSI time frame. If I go out to the 4-hour time frame, look for that area again. Okay. So if you see on the 4-hour time frame, this is pretty much at the very top. It's showing that it's going like in an uptrend. Right? We can see like kind of slightly higher highs going on right there. And then on the RSI here, we see that price is going down like that. So it's already showing us signs of weakness on the price, just based off of the RSI. And then it does break through and then continue dropping down. Same thing with down here. We notice like a lower low happening, but on the RSI is showing us that it's going up. So while this is going into that downtrend, then it comes into an uptrend. So yeah, use this tool. It's a really, really good tool to use. I hope you guys got value from that. But yeah, extended this a little bit longer than expected. Hope you guys really use it and not just hear it and not apply it. So first thing today, if you don't have it on your charts, use it, make some money off of it. I'm pretty sure this is going to help you guys. All right, so I am out for the day. Do you guys have any last minute questions? All right. Whoa, a bunch of questions just came in. And no problem, you guys. I appreciate you guys for just taking the time to be in here. And I enjoy doing this stuff. I can go on and on about trading. It's kind of the same thing over and over, but to me, it's just it's fascinating to know that you can predict the market just based off of some of these tools. Awesome, Lewis. Thank you, Milio. Thank you, Rich. By the way, I'm gonna be posting this on my Instagram. I appreciate you guys for being inside of this live. You guys come again next week, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll see you guys there. Let's make some money, you guys. All right. Cool. I appreciate you guys for all those nice comments. Yeah, I think there was one question from Vega. Last week? Yeah, Vega, if you're in the, I'm not sure if you're in the mentorship or just ask that in the golden circle and I can help you out there. Yeah, but for this week, just real quick, since someone asked, we might be seeing Euro USD going up, GBP USD most likely going to retest and then continue going up. AED USD most likely dropping down. Stocks probably going up. All right, you guys, signing off now. See you guys. Have a good night. We'll talk to you guys next week. See ya. Oh, last thing. If you guys did want to join in, you have to click in real quick before I end this. For the mentorship, I think right now there was someone that signed up during the live. Now there's 5 spots left. So yeah, after the 5 spots, I don't even know if I'm going to have this later on. I mentioned about the first one probably not having it, but this time I'm really not sure. Because after this whole quarantine and everything, I'm going to go back to traveling and enjoying myself. Yeah, appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you guys later. See ya.